The first time I saw him play, he was with Prez against Munchins and he dropped a goal to win a game. He was tiny. He was absolutely tiny when he did it. You know you've got a diamond there.
First time I played with him was in Cork Con. I just left school. He was down there maybe 2 or 3 years before me because he's way older. And we were lucky to be a part of a good AIL team that kind of helped propel an awful lot of us forward.
First time meeting him, I played against him in a game for Young Munsters against Con. He, I would say, probably abused me for a lot of the game. He was heading off on the lines and he was just in a different class really to everyone on the pitch at that stage.
A lot of stages it was, you know, money in the bank, to be honest with you. You knew if you got a penalty it was going to be 3 points. You knew if you needed territory and field position he'd put you in there. He knew how to unlock a back line. He was brave. When you go to war you were delighted that he was the soldier alongside you.
The one that always sticks out for me when we were playing Clermont away and Rog picked up an injury, but I remember him leaving the pitch and his ear had come off and it was flat down here. So as he's running off, it's hitting off him here now. Anyone else, and I put myself in this bracket, would sit in the touchline and wait to see a plastic surgeon the next day. He taped up and came out back on the pitch. We got a bonus point because of how well he played. Kind of selfless act out of him because he knew his teammates needed him badly.
His biggest strength was his mental strength. He was absolutely unbreakable. So you effectively had another captain on your team that was mentally the strongest person and the strongest player I've ever played with.
Well, one thing about Rog is he always backed himself. I always had huge self-belief and I think drove that self-belief within the team as well. And any time I was in a side with him, I always felt we had a chance of winning.
So I would have watched him for years and watched how he takes these pressure kicks, you know, and you see his mentality and how he's able to step up to these kicks time after time again in massive crowds and massive occasions and just slap them over the bar.
I remember Ronan had a cruciate ligament injury which he was about to go for an operation for, and in the end decided to try and rehab it to get right for the Lions. And 6 weeks after doing his cruciate, he came back without any operation and played probably one of the best games I've ever seen him play in Lansdowne Road against the Scarlets in the Celtic Cup final. And to be head and shoulders above everyone else is really incredible. Best moment on the pitch with him?
Drop goal. Grand Slam.
Famous kick, I remember where it was.
The bit I remember is just how composed he was behind the post after they scored. It's like Rog grew an extra foot, you know, so he just gave everyone their jobs pretty much. He told, you know, the forwards, I need the ball back and I need you to hold on to it until I get in a position and I'll knock it over.
He's the only player I would have wanted to be in that position to take that kick, you know.
And it was just sheer composure under that pressure, you know. Ireland hadn't won a Grand Slam in yonks. He just held his nerve. He'll always be remembered for that. That one was special.
The big screen went back to Limerick and you saw O'Connell Street, it was a sea of red as well.
Lots of great memories, but one that we got to lift the Grand Slam Six Nations after 61 years. A large part of it went down to those 3 points that he knocked over.
Donald was invited up to meet the lads and Donald sat down beside Rog with a crutch on his side and sort of Rog said, "What's the crutch for?" And Donald said, "Well, I've got cancer in the thigh," and started telling him the story. And the more Donald got into detail, the more Rog wanted to know, and he just kept on asking questions and kept questions until all the gory details. And it was the first time I realised that sort of, yeah, the message got through to Donald. He knew exactly what was going to happen, and it wasn't nice. But it was Rog that pulled it out of him. Donald was 16, he died of cancer. We didn't expect the whole team to appear. We didn't expect a guard of honour, pallbearers and everything. It was kind of special. Monster moments to my son being carried on by the team. That's a monster moment. That's when the fans and the team get together. That's special.
People are starting to see the real Ronan O'Gara. Punditry's been great for seeing that side of him. A few dodgy shirts, but you know, maybe a hand with his wardrobe. If he leaves Jess go out and pick the wardrobe rather than him picking it himself, I think that'd be a good idea for Ronan. Some awful shirts.